Peace, peace, peace. Namaste, namaste. Much gratitude, much grace. Where we give love, we give thanks. And we're back on Only for Hearts podcast with your host, Joshua Hightower. And today's topic is divine timing and divine love. Divine timing and divine love. And what does divine mean? What does the divine mean from the timing and love part? It comes from a certain essence, something that is greater than our understanding, something that is beyond the veil, something that is of spirit, spiritual matter, spiritual meaning, something that it is an essence that may not be able to be felt or touched or exactly seen or perceived, or something that's, greater than, us, greater than I, greater than ourselves. And divine timing and divine love, it is something that is going to happen regardless, no matter what, regardless of what you do, regardless of what others may do or try to influence and affect. It was meant to be, meant to happen, meant to go, meant to partake in, whatever it may be, is it's meant to go that way because it is divine timing, it's divine love. It is meant to go that way for you. So when a lot of people get into this mind state or space, like, I understand and understand that people may not want to share things, or people may not want to, speak about things because it can be disrupted due to other energies or exterior energies. I understand that. But ultimately, if you believe in the Most High, if you believe in something greater than yourself, you believe in the universe, what is for you is going to always be for you. No matter the situation. It doesn't matter if you have literally lost the most craziest thing, or disrupted and got off the craziest path, you just stirred farther away from the path. If that journey, if that season, if that person, if that product, if that job, if that entrepreneurship, if that gig is meant for you, then it is meant for you, man. And that is that divine time, and that is that divine love. Certain things aren't meant until then, or meant until that moment, or maybe in that season. And it takes a lot for us to understand and understand that we can't always say we want something overnight, because I was looking at this video, and it was like an interview that Nipsey Hussle was having, and he basically said, like, everything he thought about, we got now, like, we visualize it, like, we pretty much thought of it and it came into existence, maybe not in the time frame that we expected, but it came in existence. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because that thought or idea was meant to have or happen to think about at that time, but it doesn't mean you're going to see the fruits of that labor or the fruits of that thought that right then and there. That's not how it works, man. But because it is divinely connected to you, and it is divinely timed for you, it is divinely made out of love for you, it's going to happen at that moment. So there shouldn't be no worry, there shouldn't be no anxiety, there shouldn't be no, you know, worrisome. You shouldn't be worrisome about it, because if it's for you, it's for you. And shout out to Gates. I was looking at the Gates interview, and he was like, whatever's lost can always be found, except for time wasted. And that's a beautiful sentence, a beautiful statement to say, because you will never lose something that is for you. You will never lose it. In fact, the universe will go out its way. The Most High ancestors will go out its way, their way, to make sure it don't matter what it is, that it is for you. It is for you. And that's how we can really focus and lock in and stop feeding the energy of worrisome, which will keep us from feeding the energy of focus and learning and growing and multiplying things. So that's the space we want to get into. We don't want to continue being in this worried state, or in this state of like, I have to be almost scared to go about something, or scared to lose something, when if it's for you, it's meant for you. It's meant to happen. And it was meant to happen for either your season, which is going to be a greater purpose than just you. So whether it be to teach, the youth, teach somebody older, like the elders, teach someone in your peer group, or to learn, or just to be able to, expound on it in a conversation, which may tie to another different conversation or another act for another human being. That's what it may be for. But don't look at this as in a mindset of like, all right, I gotta like it gotta happen now. Now it's now or never. Da, da, da. Like I get that. I get people may be in like a all right, we on a time scale. Let's get it done. But when it's for you, it's for you, and it don't matter what you go through. It don't matter what the thing that is for you goes through, or is how far away it is, or whatever. It's for you. And you gotta stand affirmed. You gotta stand confident. You gotta stand strong and really strong willed and strong minded in that. So that's how you keep persevering. That's how you keep being consistent. That's how you keep creating new ideas and keep flourishing because you know whatever is called for your life, whatever is this is what it's gonna be. You know it was meant for you to happen. You know it was meant for that to happen to you. You know it was meant for you to go through and for you to foresee because you can take it. You can take it. You can persevere through it. You can learn from it. You can grow from it, and you can make the best of the situation. Rather, it's a celebration or a learning stage, a learning phase. And when we get in those stages, it begins to help us to be better as a person. And, like I said, as you begin to be better as a person, the people around you begin to be better, or they veer off and you repel them. And it's simple. It's simple. What's for you is for you. Don't let that get into your head of like, you gotta just you gotta fight for this and this. Don't get me wrong, you gotta have to put in some work. You're gonna have to fight and grind for it. But it's not in the space of like, this person's gonna take this from me. This no, it is for you. No one else is gonna be able to have this but you. If it's specifically made, just like a partner, if somebody say, hey, I can't wait to get my partner, et cetera, your partner is specifically made for you. They may have expressed or, endured or experienced other people, but still, that partner in that moment, in that season, is for you for a particular reason. That job is for you for a simple reason, whether it be to learn, work on your networking, work on communication, work on patience, work on time management. That internship is seeing how passionate you are, how much you're willing to go and how much you're willing to take and how much you're willing to really study. That meaningless job to you was a tool to get to the next step of getting another job that might be that as a tool to get to another space. And we got to look at it like, hey, if it's meant for you, that means it was literally meant to happen out of love. And that's why I say divine timing and divine love, because what is meant for you is in a space of love. Because regardless, you can say in a perspective, oh, that was something bad that happened to me. Okay, that may be a justified answer. However, get in the mindset of like, all right, what can I learn? How did this help shape and mold me for my future or present moments that are here to come? The good things. We don't be saying, oh, why is this happening to me? We be like, yeah, man, I'm grateful. I'm glad. That's how you should be with that. When it's really made out of divine timing and divine love, it is for that reason. It's for you. It's for you to modify, for you to literally metamorphosize your life into a better life than it previously was. That's the space we want to get in. That's the mindset we want to continue to grow and blossom in. And January, man, it's January 7th right now. And we are in the dead center of the winter. And man, just I'm ready for the spring forth. But right now in this moment, this time, this space, it is meant for me to be in this reality I am, not only because of choices and the consistency of those choices, but because it was meant for me. It was already meant, it was already wrote. As we got a little things about already written, I believe there's things that are already written in this life. I do believe that. Because you hear the stories where people might be like, they try to like go and do something out of the ordinary and still somehow this certain thing happens to them. Literally, they getting off the beaten path or something didn't happen like, hey, it happened to this person, that person, but they survived or they made it through or they won this. And it was like, how did they not end up like this? Because it was meant for you to live. It was meant for you to keep going. It was meant for that. action or that moment, that experience for you to happen for you because it was for you. And you got to ask yourself, why is it for me? Why is this? What is so special about me? And that's a question I would love to think and expound on because once we start diving in deeper, why did this happen? What made it happen? How did this happen? When did it happen? Now you can start to dive into self and correct the things and express the things and honor the things that God, the Most High, has blessed you with, the gifts, the abilities, the things that you've cultivated. It's no different than when someone, starts getting a new skill and they get offered this crazy job or this crazy whatever. Now they be like, dang, like they look back and they be like, that's crazy how it played out. We all had those instances where it's like, dang, that's crazy how it played out. Or it's kind of like, wow, it's out of body because it's like you weren't even realizing it was happening. But then you look back like that was a lot that happened. And it makes you wonder, like, is it already written? We understand and understand that yes, our choices play a role. But then there's certain things where you might hear people say, I don't know what made me do that. And they done save somebody's life from committing, unaliving. So it's just beautiful to see that. It's really beautiful. It's really a honor to know that we are destined for great things. And that's something we want to continue verbalizing as a people. We are destined for great things. We are destined for the divine timing and divine love. Everything is timed, everything is a timing thing, you know. And if there's a right time, that means there's a wrong time to do something. If there's a right time, there is a wrong time to do something. So what does that mean? That means if you decide to heat up a pan of food and you're cooking the food and you normally like your food cooked, but you decide to turn the stove off where the pan is laying on, now your meal is uncooked. That was the wrong time to turn off the meal. That means the right time was you had to wait more. You had to be more patient. It's the same with anything in life and success. Love takes time. Love takes time. Any career path, any passion, any relationship, love takes time. That's why it's divine timing and divine love. Because that's what love is. Love is time. Time is love. How you sacrifice things, that shows your love to someone, which sacrifices take time. And here are we looking at divine timing and divine love. If you are in a space of chasing this or attracting this career path, there are going to be steps inside of this whole space, whole time continuum that you need to take that takes time. And the only way to continue through that time and to show that you're dedicated is through the love that you are attentive to, that you attend to that garden. The same with a relationship. You have to be in a space of like, all right, I'm gonna be loving to this person in every season, because that shows love in all times. It's easy to love them when they're all happy go lucky, everything's going their way, no bad things going on in their life. Everything is just perfect. It's easier to love someone in that period. But it's harder when they're going through this, they're going through that. They might be a pain, they might be same with your passions and everything's not going your way. See how much love you got. That's gonna show that it was meant to happen. Because when you are being put in a situation to show how much you love or care for something during those times of trials and tribulations, that means and it confirms that it was meant to happen. It was meant to happen. Because only you would have been the person to be like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. And that's the beautiful thing about it. That's what makes us all connective in the sense that makes us all correlate and relate to each other, because we've all had a situation, we all had an experience where we knew that it was just divine timing. We knew that was divine love. It was meant to happen. It was nothing outside of that situation that could have interfered and changed it. Because what's for you is for you. What's lost can always be found, etc., etc., man. Like, don't let these people fool you. to think that you are in a bad space because your time hasn't came yet. Don't let these people fool you. Don't let these people get you doing irrational things, or following someone else's dreams, attracting someone else's dreams, or attracting someone else's life, because the divine thing that is meant for you out of love hasn't came in a divine time that you or they have presented in their minds. Universe is mathematical, but also a language. It's the feminine and masculine, masculine and feminine. These principles come in a cohesive method where, hey, these steps require a flow state of time, a flow state of love. And that's how we create this, like, miracles or things like, oh, people say it happened overnight. No, it didn't. You didn't see what's going on behind the scenes where people were doing those 10,000 hours in the gym, pushing themselves, on the track, running, on the soccer field, taking up shots, doing dribbles, on the football field, working their technique and their footwork and their jobs on the field, in the ring, in the gym, working their, you know, shadow boxing, doing whatever they need to do to get their stamina up. And then you got the part where they're getting their nutrition in, and they're balancing work, they're balancing school, they're balancing relationships, they're balancing life. And that is divine time and divine love. That is synchronicity to the highest degree. Being in tune with the universe is a lovely thing. It is a timely thing because you're in a rhythm. Now you're beating. You're beating to the beat of the Most High. You're beating to the beat of Yahweh, the Creator, Allah, whatever you want to call the Most High. You are beating to that rhythm, which is a beautiful rhythm. And everything happens in the most perfect time, the most perfect sense of love that it can be. Because it is ultimately for you. What is for you will always be for you. It will always be for you. And if we continue to be in that mindset, we won't be feeding these other exterior doubts, other interior doubts that may come from not receiving or gaining or attracting a blessing in the time that we expected it to. When ultimately, if we just move and exude in divine love and passion, the time is gonna just chip away. You ain't even gonna realize it's taking time. It's gonna be in, like, wow, that 6 months already? A year already? It's the same thing when they said you'll see how fast high school goes by, or you'll see when you get older. Time flies by. And now you wake up and you're like, whoa, I'm at this age now. But it's the same with if you're having a conversation with a loved one and y'all really genuinely care, y'all having a great conversation because there's so much divine love. That divine timing is gonna just fly by. You're gonna be so filled with love and just that space of enjoyment, fulfillment, that the time is flying by. That's what divine timing and divine love is about. Understanding that it's meant to happen that way. It is meant to happen that way, no other way, because it's meant for you. And it's only for you, specifically that situation. It's only for you. Don't let these people gas you up, hype you up, getting you to a unrealistic mindset or irrational mindset and mentality to where it stirs you from the path that if you would have just stayed on course in your mind and just been sound like, hey, my time is coming. My time is coming. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep being consistent. Keep getting my paintings out. Keep getting my ideas out. Keep getting these calls in. Keep getting these gym sessions in. Keep getting these runs in. Keep getting these teachers and lectures in. Keep getting all of these things that we comprise of in this life that we pursue or that we are passionate about. It's meant to happen that way so that you cannot miss a step, so that you can be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially sound and running on all cylinders as a person. Because when you miss steps, when you miss things that are not of divine timing and divine love, you will be exposed. You will be exposed by the exterior world or the elements outside. The same way, if you do not build a proper relationship with self, You will be exposed by low thought form frequencies. The same way, if you do not develop divine time and divine love with relationships, that relationship bond will be exposed in the midst of outside elements, whether it be storms, people, things, experience. The same way, you will be exposed if you do not build a proper relationship with the passions or things that you are attracted to, that you are working towards. It will be exposed if you're going through a hard time, a rough patch, a time of adversity. You will be exposed if you do not treat this with divine time and divine love and say, hey, this is meant to happen. I'm going to continue working, continue building, and continue cultivating a better sense of self. That is what divine time and divine love is. Knowing that all the trials and tribulations is meant for me to happen, and we should celebrate regardless of whichever side it's on, because, hey, this is the cards I was dealt. I'm gonna make the best of it, and I'm gonna look at it as a time to be adventurous. Let's have fun. I get to wake up and figure out how to make some extra money. I get to wake up and come up with a new idea, a new painting for my whole exhibit I have. I get to come up with some more music. I get to come up with another business model or business plan for my business. I get to become an entrepreneur. I get to put in more hours in the gym. I get to put in more hours here. I get to spend more time with my kids or relationships or friends or family. Divine time and the divine love. It was meant to happen. Nothing could deter you. Nothing could stir you. Nothing could stir the situation that was meant for you to happen. It was destined. And you have to find out why it was destined for you. You have to find that out. It's not for me, not for them to tell you. Yeah, we can chime in and we may be used as a vessel. But at the end of the day, you will come to a conclusion. This is why it happened at that time, and that is why it happened. It's simple. Divine time and divine love. Divine time and divine love is simple. And if we could gather as a collective, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and say, this is why it happened, this is when it happened, it was meant for you to happen, let's just move forward, or let's continue, let's keep working, we'll be in a better space. We'll be able to let go of things. We'll be able to move on. We'll be able to achieve and attract the things that we want to attract and achieve. Because we understand that there's a universal rhythm, a universal law of beats, frequencies, and cadences that involve this life. And I'm going to say it again. If there's a right time for something, a right time to act on a action, a right time to place a chess move on the chessboard, a right time to bring an idea into fruition, a right time to show and visualize and verbalize this idea, that means it is a wrong time as well. Same way if you have premature information being spoke to people, people be like, I don't get it. It's the same thing when they tell you, you'll understand when you get older, because something was said prematurely. You weren't in a mature stage yet. There wasn't enough time being built. Know that, man. Believe that. Believe that. Focus, focus, focus. Everything is divinely timed and is from divine love. It is meant to happen to build and mold you for the better, to become the best version of you. And it's, the universe is working with you. That's why everything is divinely timed and divinely loved. The universe is working with you. Most High is on your side. Ancestors are watching you, channeling through you. Come on, man. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. Let's go. Push yourself. Push yourself. Don't let this storm phase you. It's just here to clear the path. Push yourself. We can celebrate. We can take time to celebrate. We can celebrate. Let's enjoy the celebration. It was meant to happen. Come on, man. Come on, man. Really, really understand that. Divine time and divine love. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing to witness. Especially when it's unexpected. Oh, it almost like you can't forget it. And I'm not saying this in like a harbor on something, but it's like it's meaningful. Like I got to change my life in that period. or I get to change my life from that period. Divinely timed or divinely loved. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste, namaste. Much gratitude and much grace. We give love, we give thanks. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Peace. See y'all later.